Namaste, beautiful friend. Wow, it's been a while. It's been a while. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I make YouTube videos, but I'm not a YouTuber. I find that I live my life more in the real world than I do in the digital world. But one of my intentions next year is to connect more with you, but I really want you to come offline and meet me in person. I'm going to be hosting a retreat in Bali so that we can see each other. So please check in the description box for more information about that. The first one sold out. There's room in the other one. So please, let's meet offline and connect in person. This video, I'm going to be sharing with you what has happened in my life since I deleted my Instagram, why I choose YouTube over Instagram, how my life has changed ever since I left Instagram. Y'all, okay, let's go back a little bit. Sometime last year, so it's going on a year now since I deleted my Instagram. It was the scariest thing I ever done. And the fact that it was scary to delete an app tells you how addicted I was to that platform. But I was addicted, rightfully so, because I had spent so long building a community, sharing content, telling stories, and suddenly I decide to delete it. I was emotional, but it was taking over my life. It was destroying my mental health. I was comparing myself, so it had to go. I finally got to the point where I deleted it, and my life started changing ever since. I made a list of some of the things that has transformed for me ever since I deleted Instagram. Number one, my screen time. When I had Instagram, I used to average around 6 to 7 hours. 6 to 7 hours is a full-time job. And I used to say, I don't have enough time in the day. I feel like there's so much I want to do, but I was averaging like 7 hours. Now I average maybe 1 hour on my phone. I'm not constantly picking up my phone. I feel less anxiety in my chest, and I just feel generally more grounded, less flighty. I find that I'm not comparing myself to others. Now, for the first time, I feel like I am really walking in my own lane. I have no idea what other people are doing, and that feels so good. I love this quote that says, when a flower blooms, it doesn't look at the flower to the left or to the right, it just blooms. And that's the season that I feel that I am in ever since I gave up Instagram for YouTube. The next thing is, I feel like I genuinely have a community. I have different communities in different pockets. So I have a community in my email list who, when I send an email, I get back such thoughtful and wholesome responses. I have a community on WhatsApp where the ladies, they actually talk to each other via voice notes. And in that community, there are women from Kenya, Uganda, US, Vietnam, all over the world from my travels. It's a very small community, but the depth is there. On Instagram, I felt like I was tricking myself into thinking I was building a community, but I couldn't even get people to leave the platform to click a link. They would like write emojis under my photo, and that's about it. I don't feel like, for me, that was the platform to build a community. And now that I chose YouTube over Instagram, I finally can say I have a community, and that feels so good. I felt so worried that because I deleted my Instagram as an entrepreneur, how would I make money? Where do I sell and launch things? Y'all, I launched a retreat that sold out in less than 2 weeks. Do you know how hard I had to launch things on Instagram before it would sell out? And most of the time, it would not sell out. I was kind of like forcing people to buy from me. I launched something, a retreat in Bali recently, and it completely sold out to the point where I had to open up another retreat to accommodate other people. What? Like, that's just like mind blowing for me. And by the way, there are still spots left in that second retreat. So if you are a woman who's looking to really go deep within yourself, deeper in the spiritual journey, find your purpose, live a bold, free, fearless life, it's for you. The link is in the description box below. So when I booked the retreat, I actually booked the place first before I launched the retreat. And I told my husband, well, if no one comes, the place is so beautiful, we're just gonna have another honeymoon there. And he's like, what are you talking about? Of course people are gonna be there. Lo and behold, the retreat sold out. And it just felt like so effortless. And it could be a combination of things, because I'm not on Instagram anymore, wasting my time, exerting my energy, mindlessly strolling. My mind is more stable, and perhaps that shows. It could be that the people who are on Instagram, it's very difficult to get them off. Like for the retreat, it was a lengthy application. And I'm not saying that people on Instagram would not fill out a lengthy application, but the tribe that I attracted on Instagram, it seemed like they were so attached to the platform that getting them to click off, I just wasn't convincing enough for them. Whereas here on YouTube, some of you ladies, we've had hour-long conversations. We connect together, and it just feels so nourishing for my spirit and my soul to be living in my purpose. I've made more money than I ever had. And I was worried financially, mentally, physically, spiritually, grounded and balanced. What I love about YouTube, on YouTube, in order for me to make a video, and if you watched my videos recently, you can tell that my editing skills have improved, right? This video isn't edited because it's just a chit chat. But if you go back and look at the past few videos compared to the videos that I've made before, I am growing in my craft. I feel like in order to put something out there, I have to spend hours in the flow state. On Instagram, I would record something in 30 seconds and quickly put it out there. So this idea of craftsmanship and working slowly and diligently at a piece of art before actually revealing it to the world, I feel like Instagram took that away from me because I was searching for the instant gratification. I wanted the feedback immediately. Whereas with YouTube, you have to work a little bit harder for people to see you and to respond to you and to connect to you. And I love a good work ethic. And Instagram didn't really inspire me to do that, whereas YouTube does. The other thing is, I find that I have a lot to say. With all of my traveling and my studying, I go deep in my life. I go deep in my study. And I'm sorry, but there's no way I could fit that into a 15-second reel. What am I, as a spiritual coach, wellness coach, yoga practitioner, going to offer to someone in 15 seconds? I know that there are people who can do it, but it's not for me. And I also don't want to contribute to that culture over and over again. I love it when someone is sitting down and watching a 20-minute video, because at least for 20 minutes your mind can be focused on one thing versus dispersing your energy. One 15-second video and then another 15-second video. It's so detrimental to the nervous system, and I don't want to be a part of that. Y'all, so many things happened this year for me. I met the Dalai Lama in person, shook his hand. He gave me a certificate. I got to learn directly from him. I launched a retreat which sold out. So I'm actually going to be able to connect with these women in person and offer them just a life-changing experience, which has been such a dream for me for a really long time. I find that my mind is more balanced. My relationship with my husband is stronger, because when I was on Instagram, it was impacting our relationship. Because it was messing with the stability of my mind, it was also trickling into my relationship. Now, like, I feel that I can be stable for him when he needs me, in the same way that he's stable for me when I need him, and I love to be able to give that to him. I found my voice, I found my niche, I found my purpose, I found my confidence again. I'm no longer comparing myself. YouTube is an absolute game changer because I get the best of both worlds. I believe that I'm called, part of my purpose is to share my life experience. I don't believe we go through the things that we go through to keep it to ourselves, but YouTube has offered me the opportunity to be able to share it in a way that's healthy for my mind, to share my story in a sustainable way, in a way that forces me to self-reflect. YouTube is like a self-development tool for me, in a way that I get to reflect on everywhere I travel. When I put together a video, I'm reflecting on what were the lessons here, what did I get. I just made a video of the top 20 lessons from my 20s, and for me, it's a piece of art. Like, I love it, and it is so like, it's so true. I got so many emails from making that video, and I got to really deeply reflect on my life and my own journey. I probably would not have been inspired to do that on Instagram, because I know that here's another thing. The other day, I got a video recommendation from someone from 10 years ago. So I clicked on the video. Apparently the person had died. May his soul rest in peace, and may he transition into a brighter soul, into a brighter journey. I clicked on the video. The man had died, and now his videos are getting to millions of people. When you post something on Instagram, about 48 hours later, it doesn't even matter anymore. It just gets lost and buried, and whatever is most recent is what's relevant. I really enjoy the YouTube algorithm, because your videos might not take off now, but if you stick to it, they will. And that means a lot to me, that I can work in the short term for something that absolutely does pay off in the long term. Whereas with Instagram, it just felt like a bit of a treadmill. And sure, something you do could take off, but I just felt burnt out there. On YouTube, I don't feel burnt out. I feel inspired to tell stories. So I really love it here. And I would love to thank you for taking this journey with me, for listening to my stories. Thank you for such a beautiful year. It has been the honor of my lifetime. Whenever I hear like, oh my goodness, you said this and it changed my life, or Chelsea, you inspired me to travel, or Chelsea, thank you so much for this, that means the world to me, to know that my little life on this little corner of the world has impacted your life in some way. So I thank you and I honor you, and I'm wishing you the happiest holidays for you and your family. Namaste.